But one of the great calls I made is a year ago when Bitfuck was at $19,600. I said, it's over. Smart money, sell half, keep half. My mentees lost billions because nobody listened to me. We got some Bitfucks in there, I can tell. Too bad. Shows you the stupidity. Shows you the stupidity. And I know who's behind Bitcoin. And it ain't some fucking Japanese guy in a cave. I know the guy. And when that comes out, you heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero. When it comes out, zero.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today, as this video is going to get nice and spicy. It's going to get controversial, but I have to hit this home. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in a critical tipping point in the crypto market where everything's about to change. And I want to give a shout out to the OG, the legend that used to show up on my aggressively average introductions, Dan Pena, as he called out years ago that when we find out who Satoshi is, when we find out who is behind Bitcoin, it's gonna go to fucking zero. And here we are in 2026 with the dump of the Epstein files. And it's very clear that Bitcoin was critical to Jeffrey Epstein's operations. Of course it was. Ladies and gentlemen, what were the initial use cases for Bitcoin? It was for quote unquote anonymous transactions on the dark web. What was that dark web market? Drugs, sex trafficking, things that are illegal and heinous today. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize that the technology and the currency used to facilitate certain things is not the problem, but the problem is now we're in a crypto market where things are propped up. Now we're in the crypto market where a lot of manipulation, incentivizing, and brute force legislation was used to divert attention away from the real superstar in the space in XRP and bring it onto little old Bitcoin and its failed technology. Bitcoin was meant to be a payment system. Now they had to rebrand it to digital gold because they failed in their initial use case. You see, Alex Cobb said it best. Currently in the crypto market, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt has risen, and a lot of people think we're going to go lower. But me, I've been in crypto since 2016, and Cobb has been in this space for about the same amount of time as well. And every time it's nasty bearish like this and seems to be forever doomed, inevitably the reversal comes and ends up being euphoric. Positive bullish sentiment comes back aggressively. And this is one of these moments where I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I was here in 2017. During the beginning of the crypto altcoin season, I saw Bitcoin at a couple $100. I had money invested in Ethereum at $8. I sold it all at 40 cents. Excuse me, $40, which was a 5x, and I thought was a win at the time. Needless to say, I regret that complete selling. But the reason I'm bringing that context is because XRP was one of the large cap coins that front ran the rest of crypto, and this time around, the XRP chart looks explosive, as stated by the Wolf of Wall Street. Trading at this exact last meaningful support on the chart before a huge pocket of air for all-time highs and beyond is where XRP is. This is the best risk reward you're going to get on an asset. And you need to not lose focus, my friends. XRP is primed and ready to give us our green god candle of truth. XRP ETF volumes continue to be positive despite all this negative sentiment. And what you all need to realize is what a special moment in time we're in. The sentiment shift from Bitcoin being the leader of crypto to XRP being the #1 crypto on the planet is officially here. It is a narrative shift, a sentiment shift. Imagine all the pros versus all the cons. Here, David Schwartz shows an email from the Epstein files stating he hates to be a conspiracy theorist, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is the tip of a giant iceberg. With Epstein and his Bitcoin lackeys not being big fans of Ripple and Stellar. We have the proof, we have the evidence, and it's clear now with 2020 hindsight that Ripple and XRP adoption were stopped on its tracks by the Bitcoin and Ethereum lobbies. That's why the SEC lawsuit was unleashed. That's why we've been disparaged as conspiracy theorists and the worst community in crypto, when in reality we're the best. We've been through the ringer because of all this manipulation, and all the manipulation and the Bitcoin tribalism was funded and spearheaded by Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my goodness, oh my gracious, what's gonna happen next? The negative sentiment about Bitcoin is gonna take over, while simultaneously Ripple and XRP, which have the best use case in crypto and most credibility in crypto after defeating the SEC and getting all these partnerships, all these agreements, all these multi-billion-dollar valuations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the calm before the storm, before the green god candle of truth for XRP. In March 2017, XRP front ran the rest of the altcoin market and had a 20x move, seemingly overnight, while everyone watched in amazement, jealous. And that's what's going to happen to us now. We're going to get to have our lump sum of capital. And we're going to be able to reinvest in a lot of different coins. Just the tip of the iceberg, David Schwartz. That's what he says in terms of these Epstein emails. And isn't it so coincidental that Bearable Guy 123 has posted iceberg pictures before? Oh, aren't you so entertained? Because I am. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what's so interesting is that these emails show that XRP supporters have been framed by the enemy. And the reason this had to be the case for the Bitcoin lobby to succeed and go past $100,000 and be the king of crypto for as long as they have is because the brand name of Bitcoin has been able to prevail, but the utility, the use case has failed. Because the technology has failed, the only thing that they could do was throw Gary Gensler in the SEC lawsuit against the superior technology. 2014 emails revealed Blockstream CEO pressured Epstein to divest from Ripple and Stellar. These emails show that Epstein had a hit on Ripple and XRP adoption. And that came from the form of Gary Gensler. Epstein asked Larry Summers for intel on Gary Gensler, which was the SEC chairman at the time. In 2018, an email marked "Do Not Share" or quote, Epstein wrote that Gary Gensler was coming earlier and wants to talk digital currencies. Summers replied that he knew Gary from the Treasury in 1990s and called him very smart and noted he was very involved with Hillary and an angly for jobs. The man who now regulates crypto was apparently networking through Epstein circles for years before taking office. Of course he was. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very clear. The writing is on the wall. XRP was targeted and limited, shackled down artificially by the Bitcoin and Ethereum lobbies. We know this from ETHgate. We know these from the Epstein files. This is no longer a conspiracy. This is reality. We overcame more than we ever should have. But right now, the New York Stock Exchange has announced a tokenized platform. This is the narrative we're in. Bitcoin is tied to Epstein, while XRP defeated the SEC, has G Treasury, Ripple Prime, access to the DTCC derivatives market, Swift go live with ISO 20022, tokenized platforms, cross-border rollovers. Are we understanding this? Do you get it? We needed a moment to pivot the attention away from Bitcoin to XRP for the rest of crypto to thrive. This is where Bitcoin dominance is going to fall. This is what was going to catalyze the altcoin season. And the future of the crypto market has arrived. Do you see what's on the screen? Do you get it? Altcoins broke below their macro trend line for the first time in a long time. We're about to get our classic liquidity sweep to force out weak hands with RSI oversold, selling pressure nearing exhaustion. The altcoin RSI reversal is going to be explosive. These are the moments you're going to wish you came across the bull sooner. You're right on time, my friends. But these are the last times to get XRP at these levels. This is the calm before the storm, the explosive upwards altcoin season storm. With the metals finally pulling back, giving room for crypto to breathe. Metals are typically bearish for crypto, but now with a explosive fall in the metals market, I think you need to realize just where we're at. Give me 1 second to find this metals chart that I just saw earlier. I think just today, we saw gold go all the way down to $4,500 and silver falling at $72 an ounce. Where the hell is that money gonna go? Oh, 10 trillion, you say. And crypto's just a $2.5 trillion asset class. While we're at rock bottom levels and everything else is at all-time highs. The great rotation of capital is happening in real time, my friends. That's what's happening. Do you get it? Do you see the writing on the wall? This is the magic. We're going to see XRP, in my opinion, begin to get a sizable chunk of these asset classes. Truly. Tokenized derivatives, tokenized stocks. A tokenized stock platform is right here. The New York Stock Exchange called for it, with Ripple, XRP having ties to Securitize and Ondo. No coincidence, my friends. The shift from TradFi to a tokenized global economy isn't just coming, it's already being built. Many projects are in the proof of concept, with XRP operating at a full service institutional stack that is years ahead. Ripple payments, Hidden Road and G Treasury, the gold standard for stablecoins with RLUSD, and the top 50 in volume. While the XRPL is the legend of choice, native DEX, automated market makers, compliance by design, scalability and low costs, while Bitcoin failed to even transact in a couple seconds with low fees. XRP has low fees, under a penny, 3-second settlement times, can build this tokenized New York Stock Exchange platform that they want. And also tap into the DTCC derivatives market as well as Swift with ISO 20022 compliance. Checkmate. Bitcoin is Epstein coin and XRP is the everything coin. Do you see the difference? Do you guys get it yet? Because right now, this is the moment in history where the truth will set you free. If not for Jeffrey Epstein and Austin Hill attempting to snuff out competition to protect Bitcoin, OpenCoin, the predecessor to Ripple, would have already been adopted by Google more than a decade ago. XRP is the rightful #1 crypto on the planet, and here in 2026 and beyond, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. The crypto market is shifting, and it's becoming XRP centric. Guys, I believe XRP is about to pull a front run move, with me and Waters Above having a podcast episode discussing how it's likely that this month of February into the March eclipse is going to be XRP's price appreciation time. I need you to prepare, be ready, and know that I'm here to help every single one of you. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my OnlyFans at onlyfans.com/thebearablebull, where I'll be able to help all of you through your crypto journeys. And I just posted a 100x style crypto that's about to take center stage, be a leader in AI, and be a leader during these World War III narratives and Black Swan event cycle that we're experiencing now. The backdrop for global shift in finance and a global world-changing event is here, and I'm here to help you navigate through all of it. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. In addition, if you haven't already, please get your offline hardware wallets in the Decent wallet down in the description below, as you need to have the crypto off the exchanges to secure your capital, and Decent has the highest level of security I've seen in crypto yet. And finally, if you haven't done so already, sign up to Caleb and Brown, a crypto brokerage that in my opinion is going to help all of you maximize your crypto sell strategies while giving you access to a lot of low cap altcoins that I think are going to be essential for ROI and money making this cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, these are tools in your tool belt you need to use to be the most successful you can this cycle that's here. And the shift from the Bitcoin-centric crypto market to the XRP-centric crypto space is happening in real time before your very eyes. Epstein helped take down Ripple. Bitcoin is the Epstein coin. And Ripple and XRP have record ETF volumes, maximum demand, minimal supply, with everything pointing for us to go positive here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.